Wow. Okay. So yeah, apparently I need to actually be on the window when I try to take it go live. Ugh. 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 Hello, crafters. I'm Big D. Shit's real. I'm not. I'm fake. I'm made of plastic. I'm made of plastic. Ugh. How you doing? I'm Big D, and I'm amazing. Let me throw some Big D-isms out there. Private moderator, no. The Shopa box. Here we are. Well, you're AI. You're definitely artificial. Can be silicone. So, 10th edition MahREEEEENZ are coming out this week. MahREEEEENZ. We need the MahREEEEENZ. Yay for MahREEEEENZ. Can't think of a release I'm been less excited for. Not that I don't like MahREEEEENZ. I love me some MahREEEEENZ. Ugh, but I don't need any freaking more models. Oh my god. And I'm bad because I'm sitting here printing bits. So I was part of the Primal Hounds Kickstarter tribal thing, whatever they call it. It's a Kickstarter, but it's on My Mini Factory. And so I'm printing a bunch of shit right now. Wolfy heads, wolfy shoulders, wolfy blades. And I'm done with this show. I'm going to put together a plate of shields. These heads should be done about the time I go to bed because my new printer's doing awesome. I've been printing up some stuff left and right for some peoples. Printed up. I got some terrain that I got to clean up a bit still, but when it's done, it makes the terrain that you use for kill team and I forget what the combat patrol version of the game is, but boarding patrols, boarding actions. So yeah, it's a set of prints that makes a bunch of sisters themed boarding patrols terrain. So like you make the pillars and then the things slot in, and there's a cap that goes on. I'm not that crazy. I got to take like a kind of want to take like a belt sander or something and grind them smooth in the bottom so they lay a little better. And then kind of go in with a file and clean up some of this stuff. But they seem pretty okay. A little wiggly because they're not all even. It's a problem with pinning terrain in resin. I kind of want to give these STLs to a buddy of mine with a PLA printer, or just get myself a PLA printer and just print the shit out of them. They won't need as much cleanup, and I don't care if they don't look perfect. They look fine though. I mean, I'm only going to do a little bit of them because I don't actually play boarding patrols, but I'm going to do a number of them so I can use them for some diorama work. Because I think with the caps and stuff on them, they'll actually make some pretty cool diorama. Oh, nobody loves me tonight. It's just you and me, Zane. What do you want to talk about? Let's talk, Zane. Talk to me. What do you want to talk about? Oh, look. Wolf shoulders. I thought wolf shoulders. Yeah, I printed a shitload of them. I need to print another rack of them. I have more wolves to build. I don't think I'll ever run out of fucking wolves to build. I think I'm just going to keep painting them and building them until I die. Be cool. Oh, look! Lady D and Mr. Chavez. Art, did you get my email or my message where I gave you the email to reach out to? Cool. Yeah, of course. It just took me a little bit to find that information before I actually had to ask my boss because I know we're looking for somebody. So, Yeah, Marines. A whole bunch of new Marines coming out today, or coming out this week. I printed some Marines, and printed some pieces, and printing more pieces. I got my printer up and running. Chug, 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 chug. Let's see. Oh gosh, Glamour Spanish. I thought you were Zane. I'm sorry. It's a weird name. That always makes me think it's Zane. Lol. I'm sorry, Roxy. Oh. So yeah. I don't know. I think of ideas for dioramas and painting things, and not so much for playing the game. I mean, I played recently. I played Necrons. I got destroyed. Oh my god, I got destroyed. Oh, it was terrible. I got housed. So there's a bunch of stuff I need to take out of that list because it all sucked. But I was playing for fun. I don't care. I was having fun playing my Necrons. I have not done Shatterpoint. I'm gonna commit heresy at the hands of a lot of sci-fi people. I don't like gaming Star Wars. I like watching Star Wars. I like shows. I like movies. I like comics. I like animation. I don't like playing Star Wars during any timeline that you can actually. I don't like playing it. I just, for whatever reason, I'm really adverse to playing Star Wars. It's really weird. Yeah, I mean, it looks cool. I think they're really cool. Like, I'd love to get some larger scale Star Wars figures, print them out, and paint them. But I'm just not a fan of playing the game. I just, like, I look at Legions and I'm like, that's really cool. I have Star Wars. I look at Shatterpoint, that's really cool. I have Kill Team and Warcry. I'll be honest, like, if I was gonna get into anything as a miniature skirmish game that's not GW based, um, Cyberpunk R. Talsorian Games makes a gang based skirmish game. So think of it like Necromunda, but like Necromunda crossed with Kill Team. You're using the gangs of Night City. The starter comes with the Tiger Claws and Maelstrom, the two most infamous, but they've said that they will be eventually releasing gang packs for all the other major gangs of the cities. So I'm going to guess the Alcicados, the Aces and Eights. I'd love to see a Mox pack. If they drop a Mox army, I would get the Mox in a heartbeat. Give me cyber hookers with bats any day of the week. We'll have a good old time. Yeah. And because they're kind of updating the original Cyberpunk tabletop role playing game to catch up to where the video game is, because the original tabletop game is based back in 2023, today, which obviously we're not in a cyberpunk aesthetic in the reality here. But the game was written in 1983. So they set it for them 40 years in the future. So when they did the video game, they took the video game, went, let's put it 50 years ahead again. And the guys, R. Talsorian, has been slowly putting together stuff to catch up their tabletop game to the video game in timeline wise. So word is, I heard from some people that were at Gen Con that's a big thing. It's a big thing for Mike Pondsmith, the creator, one of the main creators of Cyberpunk. that he's going to be involved, and they're doing that move up. So the figures look more aesthetically like the current game, like the video game characters, which is really, really cool. And it's a skirmish-based game. And if you're familiar with the video game or not, it's still just basically a cyberpunk street fight game. So it's cool. If I was not going to get into that skirmish game, the other skirmish game I would consider, only because it would make my wife happy to be able to paint these figures, I would get Marvel Crisis Protocol. Whereas I like comics, I can play figures for comics and play their battle games because, in my mind, it's just an alternate universe. Why is Batman teaming up with Spider-Man? It's a crossover comic. Nobody cares. So, yeah, and the starter box, I know the starter box for Marvel Crisis Protocol, they got a new edition coming out real soon. So you're going to see the original box drop in price. I'm going to probably pick it up, though, because it looks pretty cool. I mean, it comes with a bunch of guys. And then they got booster packs. And the booster packs are basically, you get two or three new heroes and special cards for them. And they're about half the price of buying a box of figures for Warhammer. Which kind of sucks because it's 2 or 3 figures. But, given the game's a skirmish game, I kind of get it. And it's a licensed, approved game. The terrain for the game is fantastic. The terrain has rules. It's pretty cool. Like, individual terrain pieces have meaning. And that goes back to my joy of HeroClix. I wish there was still a HeroClix community in Milwaukee. Like, I hear rumblings that there are actually people alive that still play HeroClix. I would love for that to be true. I would dig out my Tina Raven. Oh, you're hard in MCP. Well, then there you go. Yeah, I mean, like I said, Shatterpoint seems cool. I think MCP is more my speed if I get another game. But I don't know if I want to get another game. I think I'm so elbow deep in Warhammer and like I can't even say I'm really playing that much Warcry. Like, I like Warcry, but like, I don't know. Skirmish games, I gotta be in the right mindset, in the right mood to play them. Like, I can throw down anything. Oh, I got time. Let's throw down 2,000 points characters and just go nuts. I like skirmish games, but I like big games too. So, and if I have only the time to play a skirmish game, I'd almost rather play a board game sometimes. So, I don't know. I'm weird. I mean, I'm honestly not that psyched about playing anything right now either. I'm like really like elbow deep into building, kit bashing, playing, building, painting, making terrain. I got some ideas for terrain. I got some real ideas for terrain. I'm also gonna tell you guys right now, other than my Thursday role-playing group, I'm not playing any games in November. Not that I'm doing No Bull through November. I am doing NaNoWriMo in November, which is the November novel writing month. Yes, Big D is going to try and finish his 5th novel and get that out there. I've got a really cool novel that I've been kind of scratching at for a couple years now, trying to get beyond the very basics and make it work. And I'm using this November to finish it the frick off. It's very dark. It's very creepy. It's not going to be for everybody, but I don't care. I'm going to get it done. And if it doesn't sell, it doesn't sell. I don't care at this point. I just want to get it run because I think it's a good story and it needs to be told. Yeah, I've done 5 so far. Well, I've done 4 so far. This will be my 5th full novel. I've published 3. I have one that's complete but's never sold. I shopped it around for a while, and no, a lot of publishers didn't know what to make of it because it's a really weird genre. I took military fiction and took fantasy fiction and made a fantasy military piece. Um, you know, dragons and wizards and ambushes and camoing up and recon work and snipers, and but all fantasy based. So not like snipers with guns, but snipers with bows and jumping out of trees with daggers and riding of dragons and wizards casting spells to hide people, stealth wizards and stuff like that. I think it's a really cool novel. I think it's a really interesting novel, but I shopped it to about a dozen publishers, and it no one ever showed the interest. I got a dozen. I sent it out to a dozen publishers. I got a dozen rejection letters, and it just never took off. So I made some. I think I self-published it to a website, and I got like 6 people to read it, and they stopped like chapter 3 because again, it's a weird. I'm not lying. It's a weird concept. I had a weird, wild hair at my butt. I had this neat idea, and I made a great story out of it. But for the military guys, there wasn't a lot of there was the realism there was real, but there was all this magical fantasy aspect in there. And for the fantasy people, there was a very dark and gritty and dire military nature to this. No, those are my original 2 novels I keep meaning to give you guys because those are done and I need to just give them to people because they're going to be rewritten and completely redone because the story is very I honestly I look at my first 2 novels, they're charming. They're very charming, very unpolished pieces of work. They're good, they're not great. It's very obvious why they didn't get picked up by a big publisher. That I got picked up by a publisher that was trying to get their name out there as a small press publisher. And yeah, it didn't work. Maybe I'll put them on my Discord, let people read them for free. That would be cool. Yeah, I don't. So like this new one I'm writing is, I've been struggling with it because I deal with some very dark and sensitive topics. There's kids that get killed. There is some brutality in the thing. I mean, nothing worse than some kids' novels today are doing. I think people were not prepared for it when Hunger Games came out, and this is not like Hunger Games, but there are some brutal fight scenes very early in the book that are very reminiscent of some of the Hunger Games themselves, where kid-on-kid violence that ends in death. It's a very dark world. It's a very dark setting. And the deaths aren't meaningless. They do serve a very specific purpose, but again, there sometimes people are. So it's a feel-good book. Yes, it's a very feel-good book. You see kids getting killed and people getting threatened and random acts of violence and psychotic cults. So yeah, it's everything you wanted in a nice family novel, you know. Yeah. It was an idea I had that came to my head that I've been thinking about. Honestly, I had originally conceived of it I had originally conceived of it as a role-playing game setting. And the problem is that there's just I wouldn't feel right putting any players into this setting because of how harsh and how cruel that the world itself is. It's not grim dank like say 40K is, but there's some pretty harsh stuff that goes on. And the problem is that as the players come into it, they're basically one of three factions, and they don't really have a choice. And the players all basically because of the way the three factions are, they've got to be all the same faction. So they're all either the followers of one god, they're all followers of another god, and the two gods are at war with each other constantly, and they both see each other as heretics. So there's no mercy. When they run into each other, they kill each other. They are actively at war with each other because they both rule nations. And the only thing that keeps them from actively being in constant war is the fact that there is a landmass that kind of sits between them. And the problem is that's where the book happens, is in the landmass that's in between these two kingdoms. And it's the people that live between the two cults that are the victims of the two cults. So the players, if I were to run it as a campaign, the players would be either people that were picked up by the one cult, people that were picked up by the second cult, or people that live at the mercy of the two cults trying to fight each other. So it's a fun setting in my mind. I can see where a lot of players would be like, Shannon took a crack. I think it was you, Shannon, that did take a crack at writing at one point. And it was you that did try taking it, running it. Somebody, I think it was Shannon. It's been a while because this idea has been rolling around in my head for years. And once they understood the basic setting, I want to say it was Shannon who ran the basic concept of it, and it's demoralizing. It's a very demoralizing setting. The Dark Order. The problem is the two religions, neither one's really the good guy. I mean, they're both kind of bad guys in their own way. One of them worships the god of death and believes death is inevitable. So they're nihilists. So they don't value life as much as, say, the average dude. Life is pretty meaningless to them. So, you screw up, your penalty is death. That's pretty much it. And then you have the other side that are these zealots that they follow the god of the sun, the god of light, the god of life, and anything that does not fit within their worldview, hey, that's heresy, and we burn it at the stake to offer it to the sun god. So it's just, it's a really harsh and destructive world. So I'm hoping the book is interesting. I think it is. I've written 4 chapters so far, and the few people I've let read them have been like, wow. Like, literally, they're just like kind of blown away because of the way I set up the world. So, but that's neither here nor there. That's me just saying that, November, I'm not going to be doing any gaming. I'm going to be trying to focus on as much writing as I can because I want to try and finish this novel in November. Might not even be much painting or building because I really want to focus. So I'm trying to get a bunch of content in now while I can. Trying to get some building, trying to get some painting, trying to get some priming. Maybe get a couple games in as best I can over the next couple of weeks. Bunch of stuff been announced. I did see the anniversary figure for this year is a female Votan lieutenant. I think it's a pretty cool looking figure. I've seen some alternate paint schemes that look pretty cool. Speaking of Votan, the Votan are doing pretty good now in tournaments. The data slate fixed a lot of issues. It didn't fix everything, but it did fix a lot of issues. Orcs, Tau, Orcs and Tau are doing really, really well. Orcs won a major. They won a major last weekend. Tau have been doing crazy, but they're basically running, if they run crisis suits, they're running crisis suits with nothing but those ion blasters. There's what was the other army I was seeing? I mean, Necrons have been off and on. Knights are kind of doing okay. Eldar are still really strong. Who was the other army I was surprised to see? Oh yeah, Marines have gotten into dumb levels. Like apparently there's a couple different Marine builds that are doing good stuff. Which is always good to see. It's always good to see that there's a lot of armies doing well. There's still a lot of armies that aren't doing well. Guard aren't doing really very well right now at all. They're just not. Chaos Knights are not doing well. Demons are doing okay, even though they got nerfed just for existing, even though they weren't doing well. They still got nerfed. I hear the Mars dudes are doing okay. I don't know if they're doing fantastic, but at least I hear they're doing okay. And I guess it's better than nothing. That's pretty much it. Like, it is what it is right now. Armies are what they are. We don't have many codexes out, and that's the problem, is that codexes are what make the world go round. You get a codex, and suddenly you're going to be better because you have more options. More options means better ability to fight against a wider range of foes. My wolves aren't getting their book for a while, so I may have to get the Marine book just to use some of their options. But I lose some of my boys, so I have a concern because there are some figures that gone away. Nothing really major that I care about. I mean, other than the two main units that I use. I mean, Dreadnoughts got hit heavy. I love Dreadnoughts, but I don't use a lot of the old Dreadnoughts. I don't have a lot of the old Dreadnoughts. I use a lot of, the new knots, so that's fine. Brutalis kit's a real thing now, but I don't care because I got a printed Brutalis. It's a Brutalis, but it's not a Brutalis. It's a gorgeous knockoff from Atlan Forge to go with my things from the Primal Hounds. My wolves are going to get stupid. I have decided that second chapter, that 1,000-man chapter I'm doing, is going to be a wolf successor. So they're going to be wolves. They're going to have alternate shoulder pads. They're going to have the wolf, but they're not going to have the black head on a yellow background. They're going to have a red wolf head on a black background. I'm thinking right now. And the armor is going to be charcoal gray and red split down the middle with probably a white helmet, which makes me think I might do a red wolf head on a white background. which would look kind of cool. But we'll see when I get a couple of those guys ready to go. I haven't really gone crazy about it yet because I'm trying to finish up my Necrons and try not to dive into a new project until I start done writing. And actually, before I get into more Marines, I want to finish up the last of my Ogres because I want my fat boys painted. It's not a big army. They should be painted. Yeah, I want to get some more Age of Sigmar in. I really want to get those damn dwarves. I keep kicking myself in the head. I don't need another army, but man, those cyberpunk dwarves look cool. They look so cool with their gunships and their cannons and their mercenary asses. Yeah, I kind of want them bad. I want some mercenary steampunk dwarves. Why? Because I can. Plus that there is at least one set of STLs for them out there that aren't bad. They're from an alternate mini maker, so you won't confuse them for the actual models, but they're very clear what they are. So that's a good thing. Is what it is. It's weird. The way I'm really looking at 10th is, I think, the edition where I'm going to have fun playing, but I'm going to play a lot more games of other stuff too. I think I said this before. My desire to play competitively is kind of burnt out a little bit this edition. I think there's too much imbalance and too weirdness in the community and weird in the competitive community specifically that I don't want to deal with that drama. I get too many other good things going on in my life that I don't need that drama. I can use this edition to get all my models done, and then come 11th edition in 3 years, I can just go, I have all this army. That's a goal. It's not realistic, but it's a goal. But again, I'm also enjoying playing other games. I'm really enjoying the Shadowrun game I'm running right now. I think my players enjoy it. I want to build them some stuff. I have some really cool greebles to build some cyberpunk buildings I want to get on. I want to print some more cyberpunk dudes and paint some cyberpunk dudes so that the gangers look like gangers. I want to chill. I want to play more Magic the Gathering. I'm an idiot, but I want to play more Magic the Gathering. I like playing Commander. It's a dumb format, so I like about it. Do dumb things. Oh! Well, I got figures for you. You know I got figures for you. I showed it to you. You got a big old figure. You have a big old figure. You have that gigantic freaking 8-piece demon that stands like this tall, sitting right there for you. As soon as you're done... Oh, you want a Durga figure? Yes. I'm working on a Durga figure. I'm working on it. Ding, 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 ding. I love the hearts. Oh, hearts. Hearts. What else is going on? Yeah, like I said, I have some terrain concepts. Because Dummy Me has a role-playing game concept in mind. Damn it. I have an idea for a role-playing game for me to run when I'm done with Shadowrun, so it gives me enough time to get the terrain and the built and the figures painted and everything ready to play this role-playing game. I think people would enjoy. Would it be bad if I told you? I kind of want to return to D&D 5th edition. It's bad because I don't like the system, but I do like the system. The system's not bad. It's not great, though. It's just easily broken. And I don't know. I hate the magic system. Yeah, I know. That's funny. I know. I hate the magic. I'll be honest. The thing I hate about D&D more than anything else is I hate the magic system. I think it's the most broken, ridiculously dumb magic system in any role-playing game. Because mages just win. Hi, I'm a mage. Everybody die. I win. I don't care. I win. I hate mages for that reason. Which is why I kind of wrote my dark fantasy setting that this is based on my book. The setting I've based my book on, and that's because I dislike mages. I dislike flashy, stupid magic. It's shocking that I don't like the world of Middle Earth more than I do, because I love its aesthetic. I love the fact that big magic is weird and creepy and corruptive. Most magic is small, little, and fun, but it's more about knowledge and knowing your foes and knowing herbs and knowing specific stones and magical weapons that are ancient. We don't know how to build anymore. Dragon is in a completely different setting. It's a completely different kind of character. He does not count. Because Dragon is awesome. I also admit that I don't like Dragon in a typical fantasy setting. I think he ends up being overpowered. I like Dragon in the setting he belongs in. Dealing with all the other little creatures. Gods. Oh, you little creatures, pathetic. Come talk to me. Gods exist to entertain me. And that is the other bad thing about it, because after I finish with this dark fantasy piece, I have a Slavic fantasy, urban fantasy story I want to tell that starts in the Middle Ages and works its way, pieces of it, kind of like Interview with a Vampire, except there's no vampires. Well, there's vampires, but the main character is not a vampire because I hate vampires. Vampires are diseased. They're a social disease, much like herpes. Yes, I know. You know about this story. You already saw the preliminary lead-in story that gave me the idea to write it. So I've been pretty prolific in some of the short stories I've written lately, and I found a trove of a bunch of my short stories that have led me back into my desire to write again. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. I want to write. I want to paint. I want to create. I want to do art. I want to paint. I want to build. I want to build, not just build figures. I want to build like big, beautiful things. I've been watching Luke Towan, who does these amazing railroad layouts and dioramas that are just stupid and beautiful. And watching Zorp and his massive Minas Turf build that's literally like the size of a freaking football field. It's just dumb, beautiful, big terrain things. And I can't do that in my current home, so I need to fix that. I need to sell my children and convert their rooms into terrain pieces. I need to sell my wife. No, I need to keep my wife. I need to sell my neighbors and steal their home and turn their home into a display garden for my miniatures and art. I have some idea to do some traditional art. I need to get like I've been watching a couple of artists on YouTube that do non-traditional traditional art, and I've been seeing the stuff they do, and I get it. I get what they're doing, and I'm like, I need to do this because this is cool. This is something I can do. I want to do this. So, yeah, I wouldn't sell you. I need you too much. I'd think about it, but I'd steal you back. So I do with you like, hey, do you want to buy a dog? You want to buy a dag? I'd sell you and then steal you back like a good dag. I'm a good pikey. That's racist. No, I have good things going on in my life right now. I have really good things going on in my life. My job is really excellent. More news about that soon, but my job is really good right now. My job at the store has been really good. They want to make me a shift lead. I just got to do some things to prove to them that I can do that, which, yeah, it means I would still not have a lot of time, but I'd have a lot more money. And the meaning giving the money sooner means I can pay things off faster, meaning I can quit that job. I'm running a tournament soon in Mequon. And my boss wants me to run not just 40K, but Age of Sigmar. So I'll be hitting up my Age of Sigmar homies to give me some input on what they think we can do. That'll be interesting for some Age of Sigmar tournamenting. And since it's a smaller venue, it'll only be 12 people. So that'll be good too, because I don't think we'll get the big players to show up. I want to get more locals involved. I want to get an escalation league for Age of Sigmar going out there. I want to get an escalation league going. I want to get people to paint more. I'm going to be teaching a painting class, which I'm excited about. I'm going to be teaching people to paint the basics on painting. Yeah, I'm going to teach you how to be a basic painter. Because that's me. I'm a basic ass painter. And I'm okay with that. You know, it was something I fought with myself for years. Like, I wanted to be better and I want to be better. I want to be better. But at the same time, I want to get things done and play. But I do want to do better. I want to be able to do faster better. I want to be able to do faster and not look like shit. And that's why I've been loving doing these Necrons, because I paint them faster and faster and faster, but my technique doesn't change. I'm just getting really good at it, and I like the finished piece. The finished piece looks good to me. So, I've also found that I've got a lot of interesting things I want to do. Having my brother go through what he's gone through over the last couple of months has given me a lot of perspective on a couple things. There are things I do not want to leave undone. There are things I want to do because I knew I could have done them, and I want to do them while I still have the ability to do them. And I don't want to be in a situation where I'm going to look back and regret that I had a chance and didn't. And I'm not saying it's something he's done. It's just a reality of you're looking at somebody, struggling for their life, and it makes you think about your own. I want to get my wife's back fixed so I can go and walk around with her and take her places and take her out dancing and take her out to places and show her off and have her roll dice and play board games or cards or whatever, or go out to clubs and have fun things to eat and do the things, do all the things. So I want to spend more time with my friends. I want to get together with my buddies and let's just play a card game. Let's just play a board game. Let's just sit around and watch a movie. I was telling Commodore and Phoenix that I want to get together with them and let's just drink some adult beverages and enjoy some time together. Yeah. And I want to do that before I can't. I am still a young-ish old man. I am firmly middle-aged and I'm okay with that. I am not an old man. I am middle-aged. I still have a lot of life left in me to have. And I need to enjoy that and do something with it, which means not always sitting in front of this stupid bench with the figures and the miniatures and the computer and the toys, but get out in the world and write. Get out and go stand on my computer and write. No, but I get out in the world and do things and see people and spend more time away from the home and not be such a goddamn homebody. I think everybody needs to do that too. I think it's funny to think about it now, but I still think COVID fucked us all up. Fucked up our ideas about what the world is supposed to be like. We're so scared of human contact, and we've become more scared of human contact. And we've become, I don't want to say we've become antisocial, but we've become antisocial. The fear of, the real fear, and I'm not saying it's not a legitimate fear, but the fear of getting sick. And as somebody who's had COVID, the fear of getting it again, knowing how bad it was the first time. And I had a mild case. Yeah, it's called Every Other Thursday. When we go play games with our friends. That counts. That being said, we are at the 1 hour mark, and I've been liking lately doing this 1 hour show. That way, I don't have a lot going on. I can touch base with you. We can talk about a little bit, and we can move on. So that being said, it is 8:30. I'm Big D. Paint a little, build a little, write a little. Try doing art. Do art of something you haven't done before. Do something you haven't done before creatively. Try it. If you don't like it, don't do it, but do something else then. But try something creative. Express yourself. And most of all, treat yourself. Be good to yourself. And give you all yourself all the love you deserve. Because if you can't love yourself, sad, sad day. Epic your life. It's more than dice. Epic your life, my friends, and we will see you next week. Until then, game on.